Good day, good people. Welcome to Random TF Reviews, where I review anything that is random and Transformers related. Today, for my first ever review, we will be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Megatron from the movie Transformers 1. So, without further ado, let's take a look at him. Starting off in robot mode, we can see he looks pretty dang good. He is very indicative of what he looked like in the movie. The aesthetic is very nice. Let's zoom in here so we can take a closer look. So you can see that head sculpt is pretty accurate. It's not perfect. The face is, it's not exactly there, but it does look nice anyways. I really like the helmet shape. It looks like it went right off the screen. The helmet looks really nice. I will say mine has the issue of not having his right eye painted all the way. QC issues, they're gonna happen, no big deal. Still looks good. As you can see, I love the red on him. I think the red works very well with the black, and they just complement each other very well. It works. Yes, the gray is, well, first of all, it's a gray, so it doesn't look very appealing or striking, and it's also kind of yellow, so that's a bit of an issue to some people. Not to me. I think it looks pretty dang nice. So going down there, we can see his belly buttons. They're all painted black. Might be an homage to the G1 figure, or the G1 design. Sorry. the legs, they look pretty nice. They're very long, as you can see. He's like 80% leg, but it's not that big. It's not really big of an eyesore. I don't really mind that much, honestly. See the arm here. The hands do look a bit weird because they are the tank treads part of them, so it just like makes them look like oven mitts. Yeah, that just does not look that great, but it doesn't bother me that much. It's really no big deal. But yeah, going down here, you can see then there's some nice detail here. Yeah, there's the feet, which have a yellow stripe down there for some lights. I don't know where that's from, but it's cool. And the back is just pretty much gray. There's a bit of hollow back here. No biggie. I don't really mind that much. As you can see, it's a clean transformation. Nice clean transformation. I mean, this guy barely transforms, spoiler alert, so like, yeah. But overall, I do think the robot mode looks pretty dang good. Now for accessories, he does come with quite a lot of stuff. He comes with his backpack. A lot of people mistake this for the jetpack that he had in that race scene. It is not his jetpack, it is his actual backpack. This does belong on his back. And it's painted in a very nice, like, gunmetal color almost. It's not that dark, but it is very nicely painted. I wish there was more paint on the figure itself, but I do appreciate all the paint on here. Next up, he comes with two of these guns, these thin guns, and these are side guns for his tank mode. They're nice. There's not a lot of detail to speak of, but they are nicely molded pieces. And they are blast effect compatible. I don't have any blast effects, but they are blast effect compatible. Next up, let's talk about this little pea shooter thing. This is his little cannon that goes on its side, which, as you can see, not very accurate to the movie. Actually, the side cannon on his arm looks more like this than anything, but this is way too long to be that, so your choice. Sorry. And obviously, this is the front of his tank barrel. There's no hiding that, but it still looks really nice. I like the paint. I do like that. And last but not least, his fusion cannon, which is the Ron fusion cannon, but at the same time, it's nice. It's a very indicative of his G1 fusion cannon. But once again, like I said, it's the Ron fusion cannon. This is D16's fusion cannon, which is a cool cannon and looks a lot more like G1, but I just wish that he got his like badass looking triple barreled cannon and that he got when he turned into Megatron, the end of the movie. That thing was awesome. It wasn't very strong, but it was pretty awesome. I'm going to assume this is a concept art issue. So that's all the stuff that he comes with. Now, how do we incorporate all this stuff onto Megatron? So, the backpack, well, it is a backpack. It goes on his back, obviously. So you got this little port here that you can flip up, and the posts will plug in right there. And then these tabs will tap into these slots here. So that just folds up. And that's my mistake. Oops. Anyway, tab into his back, nice and secure, gives him that back look, and just fills out his back. And now you can't exactly see the hologram. I mean, you can still kind of see it, but like, it does help cover up a little bit. Now, for these small guns, you do have options. As you can see, there are ports on either arm, 5mm ports, and you can plug one of these into his arm to simulate the little small cannon look that he had. But while this is more accurate, it is very long and not correct, so I don't like doing that. What you're supposed to do, and what I like to do, is go around here and take these and plug them into the backpack, pointing down, like so. Same thing with the other one, just like that. And yeah, it does kind of look weird with the guns pointing down, but it's not that big of a deal. But of course, that's not all. We still have this small gun, which has a tab right here, and there are slots on either arm. And you can, and this is obviously this is obviously his left arm cannon, so let's go into the left arm, and gives him that small cannon, which again is wrong, but at the same time, I like it better this way. And of course, what's Megatron without his fusion cannon? The fusion cannon goes into the port on his right arm, as it was in the movie. And so here is Megatron, all equipped, all decked out with his accessories, and they do make him look really cool, really brutish. They make him look a lot more badass than if he didn't have them, and it looks really cool. Now let's talk about articulation. Articulation on this figure is quite good. You have, let's see, there is a ball joint at the head. Not a lot of wiggle room in there, just due to the design of the head, but it can, okay, I can't really look up, but it can look down a small amount, and you can also untab it to look even more down, so like he's staring down at his enemies. That's cool. I can always appreciate that. The shoulders are on a ball joint, but thankfully they are designed so there's like a slot here, so when you angle them out, they're not like over above like the height of his head like Optimus Prime was. I like that a lot. But the shoulder moves out all the way, of course. It is on a ball joint, so of course there is rotation, the shoulder, full rotation. Bicep swivel, I will talk about this. This bicep swivel on his left arm is too loose, like way too loose. Not a deal breaker, bicep swivels aren't very important, but it is a widespread issue. I've seen at least 3 copies, including mine, have this issue, so yeah, not that great, but whatever, it's not a big deal. You get a double bendy elbow that lets him go all the way. Love the elbow, like maximum joint there. His hands, there is a wrist swivel. He does have a waist. He has a waist joint that if you have the guns plugged in, they can impede that, but he does have a waist joint, which is nice. The hips are on a ball joint, so they can kick up about that far. If you move the backpack out of the way, they can kick back that far, so pretty unimpeded overall. And he can kick outward very far. He can do the full split, which is always nice and appreciated. He has no he kind of has a bit of a thigh sole there because of like the back, because of the ball joint. He has no true thigh swivel, but he does have a knee swivel. He has a bend at the knee that's kind of loose, but I don't really care that much. It does tab in, as you can see, and you get little bit up, a lot of down at the ankle, and a little bit of pivot in both directions. And the pivot could be better. But overall, posability-wise, it is pretty dang nice, and it poses better than the Optimus Prime, in my opinion. So posability is good. Now, as far as size goes, he is a pretty sizable Deluxe. So here he is with 86 Deluxe Bumblebee. As you can see, he's basically double his height, but then again, this is a very small Deluxe. Whatever. Here he is with a Earth Spark flip changer one step. Just because that is really fun. And finally, let's compare him to his rival, Studio Series Transformers 1, Optimus Prime. As you can see, he is slightly shorter than Optimus Prime, which, not the greatest, but he is still a good size overall. Megatron's transformation isn't anything super difficult or intricate. It doesn't have that many steps, but I still think it is a very nice transformation. It is very fluid, satisfying, and nothing gets in your way. The only reason it looks like something's getting in my way is because I never filmed a transformation before, and also I'm just dumb. But trust me, off camera is a very fast process, and it's a pretty fun process too. I do like how everything flips into place, and the accessories becoming the extra accoutrement to make the tank as good as possible. Yes, it does kind of count as parts for me, but it doesn't bother me that much. Overall, good transformation. And we have this pretty decent little tank mode. So the tank is fairly accurate to what we see from the movie. It's not one-to-one, obviously. It is based on concept art, obviously. The main complaint I have with this tank mode in terms of accuracy is the cannon. It's not very close because, like, this part's okay, but it's not supposed to just go like that straight to the cannon itself. It's more supposed to be like, I guess, a triangle shape like that. It's like not like that, like just like gradually goes into cannon. I don't know. Here, I'll put a picture on the screen. I'll put a picture about like right here. I'll put a picture right here, and you can see what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, overall, like, other than that, like, I don't really have many issues with it. Yes, the chest is right there, but that's accurate. I don't care. Yes, the head is there. That's not accurate, obviously, but I don't care. I couldn't care less if the head was there because guess what? You can't see it. Excuse me. Now, there are no wheels, as you can see, which is kind of a bummer. I really wish there were wheels, but no big deal whatsoever. There's not really a lot to talk about because it's mostly what we already saw, besides these treads. And speaking of treads, I do like how the hands turn into the treads at the back. I think that works very well. You can't even tell they're hands. Of course, that comes at a sacrifice of them not looking much like hands in robot mode, but they still look pretty nice. The turret's weird. It can rotate, as you see. It can rotate a full 360, but it's not mushroom pegged in, and there's really no reason why it's not mushroom pegged in. Because, of course, the transformation involves you in just doing that. So, it does get a bit weird if you're trying to turn it. Because there's also up and down movement. But the up and down movement is before the rotation. So like if you try to rotate it, it can't go up and down anymore. It can only go like side to side, like, huh? But like overall it's not a bad tank mode. It's a pretty decent tank mode. And of course, if the guns on the side can also go up and down. And yeah, there's really not much else to talk about the tank mode. It's a decent tank mode, not a perfect tank mode, not the greatest tank mode ever, but it is a pretty decent tank mode, all things considered. For comparison, here he is with 86 Bumblebee. Again, a lot bigger because this thing is small. Here he is with the flip changer Bumblebee from Earth Spark. Just for the hell of it. And of course, with Studio Series Transformers 1, Optimus Prime. Now, which figure is better? Megatron. I like Megatron better. The robot mode is a lot better. The transformation is better. I like the colors better, honestly. This thing's super yellow. The alt mode, I might give it to this one, but at the same time, it's really not hiding anything. So, you know, no, this thing wins the alt mode as well. Even though this looks more like what it did in the movie than this. Still a good figure. Not great, but still a good figure. But this one's better. He's also not great. Both of these figures aren't like great, but they are pretty cool for what they are. And there you have it. There is Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Megatron. Overall, I think it's a pretty good figure. The robot mode looks good. It is a very poseable robot mode. The transformation is simple yet very satisfying and smooth. And the alt mode it ends up with looks pretty good. My only issues are I wish it had more paint, the QC issues like the bicep and the eyes, and the bicep is a widespread QC issue unfortunately, but whatever. And I wish it was more accurate, but at the same time it is based off concept art, so I can't really expect too much. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this figure, and I do definitely like this figure more than Optimus Prime. Let me know if you want a review of that. So, that's all I have to say. So, please leave a like, please subscribe, I'm begging of you. And this has been a Random TF review, and it is time for me to say bye-bye.